Jessica.
We are so glad to have you with us. As you know, Small Business Diet Plan started a year ago on April 19th. And we started just as a way to encourage small business owners, people who have um, desires to either be in business or that they were in business to just keep moving forward. And life just comes at us.
Mm,
So, because of all the things that we endure normally, and then the onset of everything that happened in 2020, we started a lot of different avenues just to continue to encourage people. So, because we're doing our this is our first year, I wanted to spotlight some individuals who are small business owners, movers and shakers like yourself,
mm.
that are making a difference in our community. That's right, it's celebrated. So I wanted to bring you on. I'm so happy you were able to join us to tell us a little bit about Hugh. So if again, if I haven't said this young lady's name, her name is Jasmine Martin, and she has spearheaded a movement called Hugh, and she is going to tell us a little bit about that to get us started. It'll be
Sure.
awesome. Thank
Yes. Well, first, I do want to say, thank you again for considering me. Not to say that I'm overlooked or anything, but it speaks volumes to me when other people reach out to me about what I'm doing. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
you.
Um, Going into talking about Hugh. So first, I'll let you know what Hugh stands for. So Hugh stands for her unique essence and his unique essence. And outside of that acronym, it is a movement, as you said, a movement platform, whatever you want to go with, that motivates individuals in the minority community to have conversations about issues that are prevalent. So what that may look like is, mental health issues, whether it be depression, anxiety, postpartum depression, health related issues, or even spiritual relationships. Having those conversations and individuals telling their story to help inspire someone else to tell their transformation story, to promote healing.
That's wonderful. You know, when I started doing the small business diet plan, that was one of the biggest things that we talked about during our weekly meetings, is
Mhm.
that there are so many health issues that we have to address, and mental health being number one on that list.
Mhm.
Because very often, especially as small business owners or parents or students, or it's just so broad, body is affected by stress,
Yes.
and we all don't handle stress the same way. Stress doesn't affect us the same way. But I think, I know in my life personally, it has been the one thing that I have overlooked for many days and not recognized
Mhm.
that, I needed to take a chill pill, or I needed to step away, or it was okay if I couldn't handle everything, or why am I even trying to handle everything?
Mhm.
And so that's really huge. When I learned about Hugh was last year, early last year, and I just thought it was such a great movement, and you have such involvement from a lot of different people of all age groups. So how can people get involved? Like, if I want to be a part of the movement or learn about the movement, is there something I can do to be engaged with Hugh?
Yes, I think you can. So I'm gonna just kind of give you a little backstory on what we're in the process of doing so that other people can be engaged. Per your question. So what we're doing now is we're getting individuals to openly tell their stories. So we're not, I wouldn't come to you and say, "Hey, Jessica, you ready to tell your story?" It's more so I present the opportunity to you and let you know this is a platform where you can, say, "Hey, I've been going through postpartum depression," or "Hey, I've been going through high functioning depression," or whatever that instance may look like. I would like to use your platform to not only help myself, but help other people. So, what engagement may look like is if you know somebody that has a story to share, you sending them my way, so that they could be that vessel to essentially the whole world, because everybody will have that opportunity to hear your story. So that's
Okay.
what engagement looks for us right now.
So what made you start Hue?
So crazy enough, a lot of people don't know this, but Hugh was supposed to be a pitcher. It was just going to be
Mm,
a pitcher. And what I wanted to do was just to get a multitude of individuals that look different, because hue is the color spectrum. All colors are
mhm,
different. Um, and then with that picture was going to describe hue. But being in college, um, I just heard and saw a lot of people who looked like me going
mhm,
through that they weren't talking to other people about, they were talking to me about. Um, and it just sparked something and was like, this is it. This is what
yes.
he was really supposed to do, because that photo never happened. So it was a
Mm.
reason why it never happened. Um, and I just ran with it. I just ran with it after that.
What do you see long term for Hue?
Good question. It's for Hue to become a nonprofit organization, where it's kind of a hub for, of course, the minority community. A center where counselors are able to provide services for individuals, speaking engagements where, so my focus once is like young adults. So
Mhm,
whether it goes to me or my team going to college events and being speakers for these events that they have, or different events, and then aiding the community needed for individuals that go through, mental health issues or spiritual or family, just being able to aid them with necessary resources.
mhm.
That's the long-term goal, that I want to have for you.
So you talked a lot about mental health issues. As I said in the beginning, 2020 was hard
Yeah.
for a lot of people and especially a lot of small businesses. I would assume definitely for a lot of different smaller grassroots organizations, which you kind of
Mhm.
would kind of fall under, you know.
Mhm.
So tell me how 2020 did you have any obstacles that 2020 brought on related to Hue, and what did you do to solve them to overcome them?
So I want to say 2020 had the reverse effect for me, um,
Okay.
because it was my relaunch season.
Mm,
I was off for Hugh for a really long time, because I didn't know how the transition for me being a college student with Hugh and me being an adult in real life with Hugh, how that would look. Two completely different aspects. So I took
mhm,
a break. But 2020 lit something under me to say,
mhm,
it's time to relaunch you. So it kick-started me into drive. It made me want to rebrand. It made me want to refocus. It made me rethink about the message and what I wanted people to receive from you.
mhm,
Granted, the purpose is still the same, but as an adult and as a lot of people around me are growing into their adulthood as well, how did I want that to look? So yeah, that 2020 definitely was good for me in regards to Hue. I did relaunch in November of 2020, and ever since then, it's been amazing. And with the relaunch, I have on this hoodie. Um, I relaunched it under the "I'm proud of me" phrase.
mhm,
A lot of people, we don't give ourselves the credit for overcoming a lot of things that we go through day to day to day. It could be as simple as you just making it through your laundry list of tasks. Did you tell yourself you were proud of you today? So I took that with my relaunch and I ran with it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct on that. I think many times I've sat in interviews and the hiring manager would ask, "Oh, tell me your weaknesses," and I would have a laundry list of those. Now, tell
Mhm.
me things you're great at. Tell me what your strengths are. And it took me a long time
Mhm.
to start acknowledging those and walk in with that list of the things that I know that I'm good at, that I know that I'm proud of, and be able to regurgitate them even more eloquently than I can, the things that I'm not good at. But
Mhm.
oftentimes when we don't acknowledge ourselves, right? When we can't accept compliments from others, we rarely are complimenting ourselves. So those are very good points. Very good points. And I love your sweatshirt. I love it. So where can I get one?
So I do have a website. It's called Your.H.U.E. .bigcartel.com. There I have sweatshirts, shirts, and as the brand continues to grow, of course, other things will be available. But when I relaunched in November, it was cold, so I was like, okay, what's the best thing to put it on?
Mm,
And of course, sweatshirts was my go-to. And the message speaks volumes everywhere I go. Even people that have already purchased it, they always say like, I've gotten stopped by so and so, and they asked me
mhm,
about my hoodie, and then we started to have a conversation, which is what I wanted to create about
mhm,
why I'm proud of myself. Outside of it just being an apparel item, it's a conversation starter. It's a message. And
mhm.
it's a reminder to yourself, like, girl, you did it today.
Yes,
You know.
definitely.
So yeah.
It's definitely a reminder. It's
Mhm.
definitely a reminder. Yeah, I love that sweatshirt. We're gonna have to go out and get some of those. Um, and if I want to tell my story, Jasmine, do you have an Instagram page or a Facebook group, or how
I
can we connect with you?
do.
Or how
I
can we connect with you?
do. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Those handles are H.U.E, the move. So just the first part of movement. That's Instagram and Twitter. If you would love to tell your story, of course you can message me on any of those social handles. But we do prefer that you email us just so that we can keep everything a little bit more organized. So the email address is the same as well, huethemove@gmail.com. Just let us know, hey, I'm interested. Or I even if I don't know if I'm interested, I just love your message. I would like to be involved at a future video shoot to kind of see what the ins and outs of that looks like, or can I have a private conversation with you so I can kind of tell you some of my story and then you help me. um, I'm more than willing to do that. I've been doing it for 4 years now, so I feel comfortable. That's
Mhm,
the best way to say being a listening. I feel comfortable being a listening ear without pushing my opinions on anybody, because that's not what this is about. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to support and build and celebrate.
that's wonderful. I did see your relaunch video on Instagram, and it
Mhm.
was very touching. So everybody should go to Jasmine's Instagram and watch her videos. She tells her story,
Mhm.
and it's very moving, very touching, and very inspirational. So you can overcome a lot of things, and you are definitely an example of that. And
Yes, yes,
continue to live your story
I
uh,
will. I
in
will.
overcoming.
I definitely
Okay.
will. That's why I try to tell people, your story never ends as long as you're willing to tell it. Um,
Mhm.
a book can have a multitude of series, because that individual still has something to say.
Mhm.
And that's how I feel like I am. My life is a story. I'm an open book. People always like, you really recorded yourself and put that out there for someone to see. Yes, because the overflow of people that came to me and said, you motivated me to one day tell my story. It may not be today or tomorrow, but I'm going to come back to you, Jasmine, and one day I'm going to be ready. That's what touched my heart, to know that my, in that moment, struggles and pain, um, and my triumph and celebration of my family and myself help them. Like, that's just
Mhm.
beautiful,
That's
so
true.
yeah. Go check out
Right.
the video, y'all, if you haven't.
Yes, please check it out. And one of the other things that I want to leave with too is because very often when we look at other people's stories, we feel like we have to have something that mirrors theirs. We
Mhm.
have to have the tragedy that theirs has, or we have to have the upset or the disappointment. but it's also okay to share great stories. Inspiration comes from all avenues. It's not just how I dug myself out of the hole. But if you figured out how to go around the hole, to jump over the hole, to
Yeah,
not fall in, we need to hear that too. We need to hear all of the navigations that we're making, and those happy stories. We need them too.
it
Um,
does. I agree.
I think on the news that we're so used to hearing all the tragedy that we rarely get to hear the happy stories.
Mhm.
So let's highlight those as well. So if you have a great story, they're all great stories,
Tell
right?
me.
If you've had tragedy and triumph, we want to hear it. If you've had no tragedy and all triumph, we still want to hear
I
it. It's still
agree.
your story. So don't be embarrassed by that. Don't feel that you can't tell something because your story doesn't have the same sadness as someone else's story.
I
There's someone out there that still needs to hear from you.
agree 1,000%. You kind of hit it on the nail. Like no one individual is the same. And that's where the unique essence part of it comes from. Like you're unique.
Mhm.
I do not mirror you, Miss Jessica, and you do not mirror me. And that's something that we both can bring to the table. That's our uniqueness. That's what makes us who we are as a being. So like you said, whether that's, hey, your life has just been amazing thus far. That's you were meant to have that in that moment. That's good. Let other people hear that to fuel them, excuse me, to just keep going. So yeah.
And when I bring me and you bring you, and together create all the hues of the rainbow, right?
Yes.
I love it. I love it, Jasmine. Is there anything else you want to leave us with today?
Definitely. Again, I'll let you guys know my handles, just in case you want to go watch a video, just to see what Hue is a little more. So I'm on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. Hue, H-U-E, move, M-O-V-E. If you're interested in telling your story or you know somebody else who is interested, our email is the same, huethemove@gmail.com. And then also be on the lookout. A new story will be releasing next month. So that's good. I'm not going to tell y'all what it's about. But just to be updated with everything, I would definitely say follow us on one of those social handles. That way you can see the story, and just be celebrated and to see others be celebrated as well.
Well, thank you, Jasmine. We appreciate you coming and sharing with us about Hue. And everyone, go follow Jasmine, follow Hue, check out her website, order some merchandise because we all need to be proud of ourselves and
And,
show all of our variations of our Hue.
and
So,
do. It's not about me, it's about you. This shirt doesn't say I'm proud of you. It says I'm proud of me. So
right.
that's what I want people to let them know. Like this is on your chest, this is on your heart. You're celebrating yourself. So yeah.
I need one of every color of the rainbow.
The colors are coming. The colors
Or
are
should I say in every hue?
every hue. That's what you're gonna say.
Black, brown, caramel, chocolate, all
Pink,
of it.
red, yellow, orange. We need the rainbow.
Yes, 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 yes. All of it. All of it. Well, thank you, Jasmine. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it as well, Miss Jessica.
All right. Great having you.